Yeah, okay. Actually, initially when I first wrote, 2012 is when I wrote the civil service exam. My preparation was not so great then. Like I neglected a lot of important topics or neglected a lot of important books which I had to cover, like NCRT and all. I was relying on certain magazines and all these books which were released by the academies and all. So I was not able to completely grasp the subjects because I did not touch the NCRTs and the prescribed books first. So my suggestion to all the aspirants would be that you first study the basic subjects and then you go for short notes and you go for magazines, the academy related notes and all. That will be easy because you already know the subject. You go directly for the shortcut method, then you may not be able to recollect during the examination. You feel like, yes, I've read this somewhere, I've seen this topic somewhere, but you're not able to grasp what is the answer for that. So that is one strategy which I changed to from 2012 when I first wrote the civil service exam. Side by side, I was able to make these changes in the subsequent years. Apart from this, I would also suggest all the students to do a SWOT analysis of their own self, like strength, weakness analysis. Because for me, I had certain subjects which I was very thorough with. Like from my childhood days, I was fond of history. So history, I did not have to spend much time on the topics, mostly ancient and medieval and all, because I was already kind of thorough with it. But for me, the topics which required more substantial amount of time was mostly geography. Geography, the concepts of cyclone patterns and how the air pressure changes, the wind and all that. That I had a little bit of trouble. And back in our time, there was no internet or anything, so you had to read and understand, or you have to ask someone and then understand the concepts. But now, luckily, there are a lot of videos and graphic representation of how the cyclones move, how the jet winds, how they come in. So all that the concepts can be easily understood now. So you have to do like my point is that you have to understand which subjects you are thorough with and spend less time on that. And don't spend so much of time on subjects which are already thorough with, and so that you can balance the subjects. And also you should try to spend like as per your convenience. For me, like morning hours were the best to prepare. Late night I could not prepare much, so I used to go to bed early, and I used to get up at around 4:30, and from there till around 9 solid 5 hours I would study the most important topics which I found difficult, because that differs from one person to another. Some people may be able to get up late in the morning around 9, they like to study all day, or maybe some people like to sit late in the night and study, but that is fine. That differs from one person to another. So people have to understand what their strength is, what their weakness is, and then change the timetable and the method of study according to that. And one should always be willing to accept the changes, because for me, I was very adamant in the initial years. I remember I was very adamant when people told me, no, you have to do this, you have to change the study pattern. I would tell, no, this is fine, I am happy with this. But now I realize, like, okay, they were right. Some, changes could have been better for me also. So, like, one should always be flexible, and one should be willing to accept the changes according to the pattern of the exam and as per their, strength and weakness.